Total household debt in America is at $16.15 trillion. So, if you're feeling the weight of credit cards, car loans, student loans, and more, well, you aren't alone. Debt is normal, but this normal is holding you back. When you're constantly paying for the past, it keeps you from saving for the future. And right now, with inflation at an all-time high, debt is making every month way too tight. Well, we've got good news. You don't have to be normal anymore. And you don't have to be part of that $16.15 trillion statistic. You can learn how to pay off debt so you stop spending this month's paycheck on the last month's or last year's purchases. You can make your money yours again. Let's talk about how to do just that and dig into. Think of it like this. You can't climb a mountain if you don't know how big it is. And you can't knock down giants if you don't face them. Didn't Socrates say something like that? No. Well, it's solid wisdom anyway. If you want to pay off your debt, you've got to face the truth of your total debt amount. But listen, this isn't a moment of defeat, it's the first step to victory. You can defeat your debt. And you will. But first, you've got to know how much debt you have to fight. Look up all your debt balances and write them down. 1. Get on a budget. A budget is simply a plan for your money. It's how you tell every single dollar where to go so you don't wonder where they all went. And right now, you have no time for lost dollars. You've got work lined up for that money. You're paying off debt. So, create a budget. Right now, cover all the essentials, cut out some extras just for a season, so you can throw more at your debt. And make sure you're budgeting for your debt payoff goal. 2. Use the debt snowball method. Now that you've got your budget set, it's time to start paying off debt. And the best way to do just that is with the debt snowball method. It's how you build momentum, because you're paying off your debts in order from smallest to largest. Yup, that's right. Start with the lowest debt. Okay, we know there are a lot of people out there who say you should pay off your largest debt or the one with the highest interest rate first. That might make sense on the surface, but if we were doing MUT, we wouldn't have gone into debt in the first place. Plus, paying off debt is about more than just the numbers. It's about behavior change. If you're going to get rid of your debt once and for all, you need to see quick wins and feel like you're making progress. That's where the debt snowball comes in. 3. Stop using debt. You'll never climb out of a hole if don't stop digging. When you decide to pay off debt, that means you're breaking up with debt. For good. No more swiping the credit card. No more same as cash scams. No more financing fancy cars. It does you no good to bust your butt paying off debt just so you can get back in debt. Get out of the hole. Breathe the fresh air of freedom. And never go back. 4. Stop using credit cards. Credit cards are the second huge blocker to being debt-free. Okay, you might be thinking that credit cards aren't always debt, though, right? Because you always pay them off, right? But listen, if you really want to get out of debt forever, why would you keep the option to go back to it right there in your wallet? Or saved in your Amazon account? If you were trying to kick your sugar habit, would you keep a candy bar in your backpack? Debt is a habit too. Remember, you've got to change your behavior to get out and stay out of debt. And having quick options at hand that make it easier to slide back into your old ways is a bad idea. Don't just pay off your credit card debt. Get rid of the temptation. Start living without credit cards. 5. Pay off the account with the lowest balance first, while continuing to pay the minimums on all other accounts. It can be motivating, and help you stay motivated on your debt payoff journey to knock out your entire lowest balance debt. This is a strategy that's commonly referred to as the snowball method because it helps build up momentum to pay off debt. To do it, make a list of all your account balances in order of smallest to largest and include the minimum payment amount for each and allocate funds to pay the minimum amount due on all of your accounts except the one with the smallest balance. For the account with the lowest balance, pay as much of the total due as you can until you've paid off all the debt, and then continue to do the same thing with the account that's next on your list. 6. Pay off high-interest debts first while making minimum payments on the rest. This is known as the avalanche method, and it's the most advantageous from a dollars and cents perspective because you're canceling out your highest interest accounts sooner rather than later. Once you've paid off the account with the largest balance, you put the same amount of money you were paying towards the debt to the account with the next highest interest rate. Then you continue to do this until you've reached the bottom of your list of accounts. Of course, you're always paying the minimums on all your debts. 7. Take out a home equity line of credit (HELOC) to provide a lower interest way to consolidate high-interest debt. For borrowers with substantial equity in their home, HELOCs can aid in consolidating high-interest debt like credit cards. HELOCs are generally composed of a two-part structure. Most commonly a 10-year draw period and a 20-year repayment period that together equal a 30-year term. A borrower can withdraw as much or little as they like during the draw period, but once the repayment period begins, money can no longer be withdrawn, and the borrower must begin to repay the principal loan in addition to interest. The amount of money available to a HELOC borrower will vary as the loan amount is based on how much equity one has in their home. Bankrate recently found that 51% of Americans who have ever had a subscription or membership account have experienced unwanted charges. It's easy to forget about free trials that turn into paid subscriptions. Even things you once willingly paid for may now be wasteful, says Rossman. Look for other ways to be a more thoughtful consumer as well. You don't need to cut back on everything, but think long and hard about whether or not something is bringing you joy and delivering value. Ultimately, the best resource is your own analysis. Every consumer has different spending patterns and debt balances, so take the time to carefully evaluate your finances, cut out any unnecessary discretionary spending, and work diligently to pay off your outstanding debt as quickly as possible. We hope that you like the strategies for paying the debt off. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this one.